With just 3 weeks left to go here in the 2022 regular season, the Philadelphia Eagles are fighting for their playoff lives. The Birds have lost 2 in a row, pushing them down to a record of 8-6, and have a great opportunity to get back on track today at home against the 4-10 Washington football team, who are completely out of the playoff race. Before we get to today's episode, we do have a prospect profile. Our assistant GM wants to talk to us about a prospect in safety Juan Blanco II. Now, we're not going over defensive backs today. That will be in the next prospect profile. In today's video, we'll be going over offensive and defensive linemen in this draft class. It's been a little while since the other prospect profiles, so I will leave cards in the top right of the screen to show the other prospect profiles that I've done in the season in case you want a refresher on the quarterbacks and offensive skill position players that I've gone over so far. So let's talk about the offensive line, and the best offensive line prospect in this class is Emeka Nwigwe out of the University of Florida. This is your prototypical franchise left tackle. Nwigwe is projected to be a top 3 pick at the moment and could very well go number 1 overall depending on the team picking there and what their needs may be. This prospect is really the golden standard for left tackles. He has good athleticism. He's a very well-rounded player. And I think Emeka Nwigwe can be really special. Just a notch below him is Westlake's Antonio Osborne, who I think in most draft classes would be the top offensive tackle off the board, because this year's draft class has so much talent at the tackle position that does hurt him a little bit. Osborne has been a consistent starter throughout his career at Westlake. He's a phenomenal pass blocker, really good athlete as well. And he's somebody who's not going to go as high as Nwigwe, probably not as good as Nwigwe, but someone you can pick a little bit later in the first round, likely closer to the Eagles' range of where they will be picking. Colt McLaughlin, Josh Brunswick, and Manukau Kiamalu are among the other talented tackles in this year's draft class, certainly a position the Eagles could look at. At guard, we have Freddie Cheeseburger. Yes, that is his name, out of Duke University. So let me explain this kid's backstory. He was originally born Freddie Burger, but once he turned 18, he decided to legally change his name to Cheeseburger. That being because he eats a lot of cheeseburgers and has grown to 400 pounds. Despite his abnormally big frame, he does have NFL athleticism, and to pair that with his size, that is the recipe for success at the next level. He's going to be a really fun player in the league, and he's going to go right around the Eagles' range, so maybe they look at him. It's a talented center class as well. We're not going to go over any in depth, but there are some good ones. Thomas Timberlake, Brandon Daniels, they're going to be good day 1 starters. Teo Tanungatoa, he's going to be a good late round developmental find. And even Fletcher Luce out of Alabama, I think is pretty good too. At right guard, a very interesting player here in Otto Kejbijan out of Purdue. So we don't have any highlights for Kejbijan, that being because he has not played a snap this year. He has been suspended all year due to academic violations. He has withdrawn from the Purdue program and is training for the draft. We do have highlights for Westlake's Marcus Crum, who has been a very quality starter since he was young on Westlake's campus, and he's developed each year he's been a starter into a pretty good player. And although he's only projected to go probably in the 4th, 5th, maybe 6th round, I think he could be a really good day 3 find with his athleticism and his skill. Great lead block. He can play well in the pass and the run game, and I think he could be a really strong player at the next level. At right tackle, Bentley McVaughn out of Illinois, probably the 2nd projected offensive lineman in this year's class, likely to be a top 10 pick. There are questions about his positional value. He's mainly played right tackle throughout his entire collegiate career, and many scouts question if he can handle moving over to left tackle. He's a big man, 6'8", standing at around 360, but he has great athleticism, great in the pass and run game. I think this is someone who's going to be a high-level contributor very early on. Let's move it to the defensive line. A lot of talent here, including the freak out of Westlake in Jabari Achebe. Achebe has been a starter for Westlake since he was a true freshman, wreaking havoc early in his collegiate career. As a junior and senior, his numbers decreased because defenses put more focus on him. But I think this kid is going to be a stud in the NFL. We do not see many freak athletes like him as edge rushers. I mean, you have your occasional Jadeveon Clowneys and Myles Garretts. Both of them went number 1 overall, and I think Achebe probably won't go number 1 because of his lack of production the past couple of years, but certainly a top 10 pick and someone who I think could develop into a superstar in no time. The other first-round left end is Zane Beavers. He's sort of the opposite, a high-floor player, more of a run stopper. Alexander Griffith out of Vanderbilt is a very interesting story. So he got injured before his freshman season, then he redshirted, and now he is technically a 6th-year senior at the age of 24. He has used his experience and is one of the smartest players in the draft class in the classroom and on the field. He graduated in just 2.5 years at the University of Vanderbilt, and he's a really smart football player. He's a film junkie. He's always in the film room getting ahead. And, I mean, as I said, he really has knowledge for the game, and I think he'll be a veteran as a rookie. I hope that makes sense, but he is going to bring a veteran presence very early on to whatever locker room he ends up going to. Another Westlake defensive end projected to go in round 1 is Jacob Williams, who is Jabari Achebe's partner in crime. Achebe and Williams have very different stories, though. Unlike Jabari Achebe, Jacob Williams was not a 4-year starter. He was not a top recruit. Actually, he was originally a walk-on at the University of Westlake and eventually developed into a starter, and a very good one at that, winning the Lombardi Award as a senior. He definitely does not have the pass rush or athletic upside that his teammate Jabari Achebe has, but he's a really well-rounded player, has a great story from walk-on to first-round pick. There are plenty of late-round gems here at defensive end, including Apelu Tuiasosopo, Slavko Savic, and Wenye Omema, just to name a few. It's a really talented defensive tackle class as well, and that starts with KK Mosley-Smith out of Pittsburgh. Just 21 years old. I think this kid is really, really talented. Probably Pittsburgh's best defensive player since Aaron Donald. Now, I don't want to really throw out those comparisons because that's awfully lofty, but I think KK Mosley-Smith, as a pass rusher and a run stopper, can provide a lot of early impact. I think his well-roundedness, his athleticism can be really good. Does not have good acceleration, but other than that, he's an athletic freak. But he's not the freakiest defensive tackle here. I would like to introduce everybody to maybe the most unique player in the entire draft class, Benny Wilkins out of Arkansas, who stands at 6'11", 400 pounds. Look at him on this play, just pushing around this offensive lineman. Now, he wins on brute force and brute force alone. The question with him is, does he have the true athleticism to thrive in the NFL? He is a one-trick pony. He obviously has great power, considering his size, but he doesn't really have any finesse, and I think his lack of well-roundedness could hurt him. But with his size and his strength, his brute force might just win him battles against offensive linemen, which is why he's projected to go in the first round. I'm very curious to see how his career ends up. So that's going to conclude this prospect profile. Let me know which offensive and defensive linemen you liked in the comments below. We will certainly be looking at offensive and defensive linemen in this upcoming draft, and we might end up picking a few of these guys. Let's talk about the game here against the Washington football team. So last week, if you remember, Jalen Hurts struggled against San Francisco. We benched him late for Maddox Gillard, who actually played really well in the final couple of minutes. And I posed the question, who should we start in this game against Washington? And I've decided to stick with Jalen Hurts. I think despite his inconsistencies and his struggles, he gives us the best shot to win, in my opinion, but he does have a very short leash for this game. If you thought our quarterback situation was weird, look at this QB room. Washington has Jacoby Brissett, Taylor Heineke, who is their starter, Mitchell Trubisky, and Gardner Minshew. That has to be the most random allocation of players I can think of, all on the same team. So, yeah, no wonder they are 4-10 and out of the playoff hunt. The Eagles are definitely not out of the playoff hunt, currently sitting at a record of 8-6. The Birds have to get back on track. They've lost 2 in a row. They really struggled last week. The offense was inconsistent against the Niners. The defense was a disaster. And they have to figure it out here against a struggling Washington team at home. If the Eagles are given an opportunity to win here within their final 3 games, they have to take advantage of this one. Washington and Philadelphia up next as the football team starts with the football, and Antonio Gibson quickly loses 2 Akeem Davis-Gaither and Terrell Burgess, both of whom started the year off really well, have been a little bit quiet as of recent, but they're both there to make the play. 2nd and 22 now after a holding call as Heineke is sacked in the backfield by Josh Uche, another player who started the year off really strong and has cooled off a little bit. Good to see him making a play. So now it's 3rd and 32. Washington's backed up at their own 3. They really just have to run the ball and avoid the safety. But Gibson loses the football. Burgess punched it out, and it's picked up by Josh Uche, and the Eagles are going to start at the Washington 5-yard line. But this play is going to be reviewed, and as you can see, first off, that was a really hard hit by Terrell Burgess. Second off, right there, Gibson's elbow and back hits the ground before the ball flies out. So it'll be ruled down by contact, but nonetheless, the Eagles will get the ball because Washington will have to punt it away. 3rd and 2, Hurts connects with his tight end, Dallas Goedert, for a game of 12. I think one way Jalen Hurts can play better is using Goedert more often. I feel like Dallas Goedert has been underused in this offense this year. On 3rd and 13, the pass is broken up by the former first-round pick Jamin Davis. So that'll bring the field goal unit out. A 48-yard attempt for the rookie Zebediah Phoenix, the second, who drills it right down the middle. And the Eagles are on the board. They lead 3-0. So Washington gets the ball back. We'll see if the offense can get something going on this drive as Antonio Gibson stiff arms Deshaun Elliott to oblivion and is eventually hit at the 39-yard line. But that stiff arm on Elliott was nasty. 2nd and 3 now at the 42. It appears Washington is starting to move it a little bit. Heineke looking to throw it. He goes up the middle, and it is caught inside the 30 to the 26. And Washington is really starting to get into a groove. Their offense is not the best, but this Eagles defense has kind of struggled the past couple of weeks, particularly last week against San Francisco, which was probably their worst outing of the year. They do get a stop here on 3rd and 9. The pass for Terry McLaurin is off the mark, so Washington will send the field goal unit out. This kick from 42 yards out is nearly blocked by Michael Ojemudia, but the kick is good. Ojemudia timed the snap right, but the kicker was lucky to get that one in. That's Austin Seibert, who is Washington's kicker. Game tied at 3 through 1. Not an overly crazy start, but so far the Eagles don't look too bad. As we hop into the second quarter, Rosemont St. Clair on the first play of quarter number 2 brings it to the 39. Another nice reception there by St. Clair, who continues to make a big impact in the receiving game. 3rd and 5, Hurts with a strike for Devontae Smith, who brings it to the 10. And so far, Jalen Hurts has avoided mistakes. He hasn't been outstanding, but he has not been bad by any stretch. 3rd and goal. Hurts scrambling, looking for the end zone, and it is picked off. Yeah, I think I might have jinxed him. It's Kendall Fuller with the INT. Wasting points in the red zone. You cannot make that mistake. He could have possibly ran it in as well. So just a costly error by Hurts, who has made a few too many errors this season. Nice catch by Logan Thomas before being hit very hard by Davis-Gaither. The Eagles are laying out the hit sticks today. I've got to say, this defense appears to be aggressive and hungry after really struggling last week. 2nd and 10. A deep ball from Heineke, incomplete, but there's a flag. It looked like Terrell Burgess blocked the receiver from being able to catch the football. So that'll be an automatic first down, bringing Washington all the way to the red zone, and an easy opportunity to punch it in as it is 3rd and 2 from the 4. Heineke looking to throw it. Has time, scrambling to the right side, and it is incomplete. Broken up on the play by Terrell Burgess, making up for his mistake earlier on the drive. So it's 4th and 2 at the 4. And Washington says, hey, we have nothing to lose. We might as well go for it. And Antonio Gibson, barely by inches, gets the first down. So Washington keeps the drive going. And here on 1st and goal, they're going to try to punch it in. Heineke looking to throw it. He goes short for Antonio Gibson, who gets the touchdown. And it is the Washington football team who finds the end zone first today. They will take a 10-3 lead. We'll see if the Eagles can march down and answer back. 3rd and 9 from the 26. Hurts with a strike for Goedert, who is just shy of the first down marker. 4th and inches on their own 35. The Eagles are going to go for it. Gutsy call by Coach Britton, and it pays off. They go for the QB sneak. Jalen Hurts keeps the drive going. So after the gutsy play call there to go for it on 4th down, that brings us to the 2-minute warning. We'll see if the Eagles can capitalize off that 4th down, as it is now a 3rd and 10. Hurts under pressure from Chase Young, and he somehow gets it to the rookie Troy Dobbs, who brings it to the 48. With Jalen Reagor still out, Dobbs and Delshon Callaway-Riley still have to capitalize and make some noise. There's the rookie Tykeem Keon to the 36. And now the Eagles' offense appears to be in a little bit of a groove. Hurts downfield, caught by Devontae Smith, who brings it to the 14. And now the offense is really in a groove. They are moving it down the field nicely. The Eagles are letting the clock go. They don't want Washington to get the ball back, as it's 3rd and inches from the 4. Philadelphia has a timeout in 15 seconds, but they're not going to need that. Touchdown, Dallas Goedert. And this game is tied up at 10 to conclude the first half. A back-and-forth start to this game. When one team gets a field goal, the other answers back. When one team finds the end zone, the other answers back. We'll see if either side can break away here in the second half. You've got to think the Eagles have some plans up their sleeve. They know they're a better team than Washington. They have to show it, though. 2nd and 2 to start the 3rd. Jalen Hurts keeps it himself and is eventually tracked down at the 44-yard line by Chase Young, but not before getting 23 yards. A beautiful run there by Hurts. 2nd and 10 now. Hurts calm and composed in the pocket, and he launches a strike for Dallas Goedert, who gains 22. A great start to the drive here for the Eagles, but after a penalty, they're backed up to the 18. 3rd and goal. Deep ball is caught for a touchdown. Delshon Callaway-Riley with his first touchdown as an Eagle, and Philadelphia is back on top. A great throw from Hurts. Delshon Callaway-Riley is a big dude, using that jump ball ability he has to make it a 17-10 lead. So now Washington has it back, trying to answer. Heineke, under pressure, he is tripped up by Dalvin Tomlinson. His first sack as an Eagle after being acquired this year at the trade deadline from Minnesota. It is now 3rd and 12. Heineke looking to throw it under some pressure. Takes a shot deep downfield. What a dime by Taylor Heineke, who brings it all the way to the 9-yard line. An unbelievable throw by the former XFL quarterback. Now from the 9, 1st and goal. Heineke looking to throw it, launches a strike for Scary Terry McLaurin, who gets the touchdown, and the Washington football team answers right back. We are now tied at 17. Philadelphia with the ball. Jalen Hurts on 2nd down takes a shot downfield. It's caught by Devontae Smith for a 54-yard score, and the Eagles are right back on top within a matter of seconds. What a play by Devontae Smith, who continues to prove himself as one of the NFL's elite. William Jackson completely misplays the ball, and Devontae Smith does the rest. It's now 24-17. Already more points combined here in the 3rd quarter than the entire first half. Washington's offense doesn't show signs of slowing down either. Antonio Gibson brings it to the 31. So both offenses struggled in the first half, and both offenses are playing unbelievably well here in the second half. It's kind of weird. 2nd and 2. Heineke on the run for Curtis Samuel, who gets the touchdown. Samuel trying to show off his celebration. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but he got the touchdown, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. Now we are knotted up at 24. A very eventful 3rd quarter. A lot of offense. Both teams had the ball twice. Both teams scored 2 touchdowns. And this game, with 1 quarter to go, is knotted up at 24. Philadelphia open to the ball. 3rd and 7. The pass for Goedert is incomplete. The first stalled drive of the second half, and Washington has it back on 1st down. Heineke connects with Terry McLaurin, who baits out Darius Slay and is brought down past midfield by Slay and Elliott at the 47. I've got to say, Taylor Heineke has been unbelievable in the second half. He looks like a man on a mission. 3rd and 2. Heineke launches a prayer for the end zone and is caught by Samuel. Oh my goodness, the little guy just mossed Darius Slay, who has had another rough performance, and Washington is back on top 31-24. The Eagles need to answer on this drive. 3rd and 4. Hurts on the run, quickly wrapped up by Chase Young. Despite it being a 4th and short, the Eagles decided to punt it. They are putting trust in their defense, who has completely fallen apart here in the second half, but this is the drive to get back in it, and that's a good start. Dalvin Tomlinson with the tackle for loss, forcing Gibson to lose 2. 3rd and 6 now. Taylor Heineke alone in the backfield with under 5 minutes to go. Heineke under pressure. He is sacked by Josh Sweat. Sweat missed a few games, but he is back in the lineup already, making an impact. And the Eagles have another shot to drive down the field and try to tie it. Tykeem Keon runs out of bounds to the 35-yard line. I think the Eagles are going to take a methodical approach to this drive. They don't need to move down the field quickly. They don't want Washington to get the ball back. They want to score this touchdown here and not let Washington get it back. A nice play here from Goddard. Past midfield to the 48. The Eagles have plenty of time as we're now at the 2-minute warning. Washington leads 31-24, but it seems like the Eagles really have a plan. They still have all their timeouts as well in case they need them, but they do have to convert this 3rd and 6. Hurts under pressure, looking for Dobbs, and it is caught, not by Dobbs, but by Tykeem Keon. That was a bad throw from Hurts, but Keon was at the right place at the right time to keep the drive going. 40 seconds to go now. Goddard on 2nd down brings it to the 4-yard line. The Eagles would finally elect to call a timeout. After the next play, they would call another one. So now it's 2nd and goal. 20 seconds to go. Hurts dumps it off for Goddard. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great drive from Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, taking 4 minutes off the clock, scoring the touchdown. Now they just need the extra point from the rookie, Zebediah Phoenix, as Coach Ron Rivera is going to call a timeout in an attempt to ice the kicker. Here is the rookie, Zebediah Phoenix, to tie and likely send us to overtime. Drills it with no problem. 31-31. What a second half. What a game so far. But ladies and gentlemen, we are being treated to 3 football. Overtime action, 6.5 minutes. If there's no winner, this game will be a tie. Washington, as the road team, gets to choose the coin flip. It is heads. Washington wins the toss. They will elect to receive. Usually tails never fails, but tails kind of failed on us that time. So Washington will start at the ball. With how their offense is played here in the second half, they are red hot. And I think if you're the Eagles, you have to be worried. This is worst case scenario. Washington does get the ball back, but rather than regulation in overtime. 2nd and 10. Heineke on the run. Connects with Curtis Samuel, who loses 2. A great start to the drive here for Philadelphia. That's Josh Uche with the tackle. Now it's 3rd and 13. If Philadelphia can get the stop here, they can put themselves in a great position to win this game and control their fate going into the postseason. Heineke scrambles away from the pressure. Downfield for an open Logan Thomas, who gets the first down. That play is such a killer. Again, it's Darius Slay. What are you doing, Slay? And Washington gets to move the chains from the Philadelphia 45. Heineke with a strike for Terry McLaurin, who breaks the tackle from Uche and is eventually wrapped up by Nehemiah Richardson and company. But Washington is moving it down the field with ease. A touchdown ends it. 2nd and 2. Heineke looking to throw it. Under pressure, he is sacked. Jared Davis comes flying into the backfield. A huge QB takedown for the Birds. Now they just have to get another stop here on 3rd and long. It's going to be a screen. No way they convert this, right? They got it. Antonio Gibson with a gain of 15. That's a screenplay. You have to have a few guys ready on that left side. Just very bad execution there by the Philadelphia defense. 2nd and 2, we got a flag. If it's a neutral zone infraction, that could be really bad. It's not, however. It's a false start. A massive break there for Philadelphia. Now they actually have a shot to get a stop here. 2nd and 7 from the 10, under 3 minutes to go. Heineke has no time to throw it. The rookie linebacker, Winston Johnson, gets the sack, and now it's another 3rd and long, which Washington has converted twice here in this overtime period. Hopefully 3rd time is the charm for the defense. Heineke, no time to throw it. It's Josh Sweat who flies into the backfield for his 2nd sack of the game. So after all of that, the Eagles kind of get the stop. Austin Seibert is on for a 43-yard field goal to put Washington ahead. The kick is good. So it is now 34-31. But the Eagles offense does get another shot. They have 2 timeouts in 2 minutes. If they score a touchdown, they win. If they score a field goal, they probably tie. If they don't score, they lose. It's pretty simple. Hurts on 2nd and 9, throws it away. There was a receiver in the area, so I'm not really sure where the intentional grounding is here. But nonetheless, instead of 3rd and 9, it is now 3rd and 21. Down to about a minute. Probably the biggest play of the game so far. Hurts scrambling to the right side, trying to find something, and he is a wide open Devontae Smith, who not only gets the first, but brings the Eagles into field goal range at the 33-yard line. A huge play by Hurts and Smith. Down to 34 seconds. 3rd and 1. It's a short pass for Callaway Riley, who's unable to get out of bounds. The Eagles elect not to call their one timeout. Rather, they go no huddle, so they're a little bit rushed. 8, 7. Hurts intercepted by Landon Collins. And the ball game is over. The Washington football team pull off the upset in heartbreaking fashion. 34-31. This is a classic tale of what if. What if Callaway Riley went out of bounds? What if the Eagles called that timeout? What if Hurts just decided to throw it away, kick the field goal, end up with a tie? A lot of different ways that could have gone, but if nothing else, I'm proud of this team for, rather than playing for the tie, trying to play for the win. Unfortunately, that bit us in the butt, and we have now lost 3 in a row, pushing us down to 8-7. I do think the team played a lot better today. Now, that's not to say everybody played well. I do think Jalen Hurts was pretty good. He ended up throwing for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, and quite a few interceptions. He was not perfect, but he did have a few big plays for us. He was not better than Taylor Heinicke, though, who dominated our defense in the second half. If Taylor Heinicke can do that, then I am fearful for what Aaron Rodgers will do against our defense next week. A lot of receivers with big games. Goddard, McLaurin, Samuel, Smith. Both teams ran the ball fairly well, too. The defenses were both really good in the first half and really bad in the second half. It was like a flip was switched. We did get 6 sacks, though. 2 for Sweat, 1 for Davis, Uche, Tomlinson, and Johnson. Interceptions for Fuller, and the game winner by Landon Collins. We outsacked them 6-0 and still lost, which is kind of wild. So that brings us to Week 17. 2 weeks to go. We are 8-7. We have a home game against the Green Bay Packers, who are really good, and a road game against the Washington football team, who we are definitely looking for revenge against. We have quite a few questions to answer, particularly on defense. The defense has been the strong suit for our team this season, but after back-to-back really shaky performances, I'm a little bit concerned facing off against one of the most talented offenses in the league with Green Bay. So we've got some questions to answer. We've got to get out of this losing streak, or else our chances of making the playoffs could be in serious jeopardy. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Definitely not the result we wanted, but still a fun one. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.
Merry Christmas.